Test, test, test. Are we live? Are we live? I think we're live. I don't know why I'm starting a stream today, because there's nothing really to talk about, but warrants randomly went up 50%, 40%. I'm not really too sure. Also, Yahoo pricing isn't accurate most of the time, so maybe if we looked on like a Trading View or something, or not Trading View, Thinkorswim, maybe it'd be different. Isn't it GME Plus on here? I can't remember. Oh, it's GMEW on here. So on here they tap 290. On the Yahoo it says it only tapped 269. So I guess we'll check Thinkorswim, because I don't know exactly how much it went up, and Thinkorswim's the only platform that has like real accurate pricing from my experience. Hugh, what's up, Hugh? Been a while. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing good. Training some fletching on RuneScape. I'm a million XP from 98. So that's cool, I guess. Not really. Not really. Let's see. Moose. What's up, Moose? Back-to-back days were blessed. Well, maybe GameStop will actually get exciting, and maybe there's something to talk about. I don't know. The warrants are just randomly up 50%. I find that so weird. And even the stock spiked up to 1830. I don't think that showed on Yahoo, did it? Oh, yeah, that showed on Yahoo. But I don't think there's like any news or anything, so I don't really know. It's very odd because you've been at this price. Well, I guess not any time recently, but I guess like 3 or 4 trading days ago you were up here and the warrants weren't at $2. So that's a very weird move on the warrants. Very weird. It's almost like either someone bought a massive warrant position or someone who was already shorting warrants closed. Like, I don't know. That's very odd. But okay. So on Thinkorswim, it's 2.9 as well. So yeah, that's a 56% move in like less than an hour. It didn't hold, obviously, and it'll probably end up coming back down as GameStop does. But very, very random. Very odd. Alright, that's all I wanted to check. I guess since I have this open, we can check the rest of the market. Been a while. It's been a while. Getting lots of golf in. Nice. I still haven't golfed. I've been doing a little bit of clay pigeon shooting. That's been fun. We might get like an actual thrower here soon because they're kind of cheap, but just been throwing clay pigeons with our hands, like kind of like frisbee style. That's fun. Damn, Microsoft's at $500? What the heck? Bond yields look like they might start coming down, maybe? I don't know. That's a tough thing to predict. Obviously, over a long enough time frame, bond yields should come down, so TLT could be a good buy, but that's a tough trade. Could take a lot longer than what I thought originally. They're not projecting a rate cut until like 2028, and potentially even like a rate increase sometime between then. But I don't know if we'll see a rate increase. I don't think that's gonna happen. But you're not gonna see any rate cuts until 2028, so pretty weird. Alright. I don't think there's really anything to look at there. It's just, I wanted to see how much the warrants went up. I'm surprised TradingView's pricing was accurate. What's up, Fox? How did I get on with the interview? I tried to call up, like, follow up yesterday, but the lady who interviewed me wasn't there, so I'll have to call today and see. But I don't know if that's happening. We'll see, I guess. I'm also like on the fence about that. Even if I do end up getting the job, it's like GameStop doesn't pay anything. Like, the pay is so trash. So realistically, I'm just like doing it for fun and for the experience. But at the same time, like, I don't know. I have a lot of negative opinions about it, but it is what it is. We'll see what happens. If I end up getting the job, I mean, that's cool. I'll be able to make some content around it and talk about it, but other than that, I gotta go let my cat outside, I think. You want to go outside, or are you just being annoying? Go. Go, 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 go. Alright then. Go. My cat's just meowing at nothing. She's acting like she wants to go outside, but she doesn't want to go outside. She's just meowing at nothing. For some reason, she always meows when I'm over here streaming. I don't know why. She wants to be a part of it or something. Do you still have your warrants? Yes, sir. I do. I forget how many I have, but like 700 or something. I can't remember. But I haven't sold any. Because, I mean, what's the, like, obviously this probably isn't going to happen, but if the stock is trading at like $34, $36, well, 34, the warrants are going to be worth the same price they are literally right now. Even if you're coming on the last week of the expiration date, as long as the stock's trading at like 34, 36, the warrant price will be, $2 to $4. So I've just never been interested in selling because I don't know. Should I have took profits when the opportunity was there? Of course, but it's not what I'm in this investment for. I was even considering getting like a loan or something to buy more shares, but it's just not worth it. It's just really not worth it. Like, what if it takes another like 2-3 years for this shit to move? You're gonna sit and pay 6 to 12% interest for the next 2-3 years. So by the time the stock, like, if it takes like 3 years for the stock to move, you're gonna be paying like 36% in interest by the time it ever moves. It's just not worth it, in my opinion. Even though, I could sell options and create income from it. It's not what, I'm not interested. I'm not interested in going in debt, even though I think I can make it work. But yeah, I'm not gonna sell a single share or anything ever. Like, if the stock went up crazy and the warrants went up a lot, I would probably sell my warrants because I don't have the money to exercise them. But yeah, I don't know. These graphics are sick. Oh yeah, I'm playing. I forgot I was playing RuneScape. My bad. Just getting that fletching in, you know, bro. Just no life in the fletching. Last time I was sailing, and I ended up getting 99 sailing. Now I'm yeah. I should be like stacking money on this game so I can go for 99 smithing, but I don't know. This is just what I'm doing right now. KCR, what's up, KCR? But yeah, I don't think there's any like news or anything. They're just randomly up. Oh, did they announce earnings today? I don't think they announced earnings. No filing. God, my computer is so booty lately. I don't know what. I don't know why. Shit just never wants to load. Could be because I'm playing this, but why isn't it loading? Okay. Oh, there's no filings anyway, so it is what it is. But yeah, I don't. There's no reason why it's up. But let's see. There was like a GameStop post. Oh yeah, this. Consider this your green light. Pre-order the Xbox 25th anniversary console tomorrow at GameStop while supplies last. I think that's pretty funny that you know, they send out this tweet and then literally the next day the warrants are up 50%. Like that's pretty interesting. You know, what does it mean? Probably nothing. But it is interesting timing, I guess. And then they tweeted something before that. It was like some video games or something like that. It looks like they got removed. Oh yeah, it was this tweet. Wait, they removed it. God, Reddit is so dumb. Oh, here it is. So they released this tweet with like the Grand Theft Auto 4, Modern Warfare 2, Halo Reach. I don't know. Some weird tweets, but pretty you know, this tweet was on Tuesday, and then the green light one was on yesterday. So some pretty interesting tweets prior to the warrants going up that much. Some pretty interesting tweets. They started lowering the prices of their Pokemon on their website. I don't know how interesting that is, but I remember us talking about this. And, you know, those Chaos, or the Pitch Black and, like, Chaos Rising and stuff like that, those were sitting at, like, $300 for a really long time, even though the boxes are only worth, like, $180, $190, and they lowered it down to $260, and they lowered the Pitch Black ETB by, like, $10, so they lowered some of their Pokemon prices, which is, I don't know. It like they're trying to sell them, but they're not even, you know, pricing them in as what they're actually worth. So it's a little weird. It's a little weird. Tinfoil Thursday. Jared, what's up, Jared? Are we getting stoked for that? Oh yeah, that starts in like 3 hours, huh? I probably won't watch it. Honestly, I'm not buying Grand Theft Auto, so I'll probably watch it later. But I don't even think I'll be at the computer when it comes out. It starts, literally I think it starts in 2 hours. Yeah, I don't think I'll be at the computer. But honestly, I'm not gonna buy Grand Theft Auto, and so I just don't care that much, if I'm just being honest. Corey's not a GTA fan. Oh, I love Grand Theft Auto. I just don't care about this Grand Theft Auto. I don't have a PS5. I don't have a Xbox. It's not coming out for PC for a while, and I probably don't even have a nice enough PC to play it, so it's just kind of off my radar. It's just off my radar. And stock's moving again a little bit. Moose said the warrants are going up. Where's the... What the heck just happened? Where's the warrants? Yeah, warrants are ripping. Holy, warrants are ripping again, son. The warrants are ripping again. What the heck, bro? What is going on? So odd. So odd. Maybe I do need to stick around. I was going to go do an Amazon Flex, but this looks interesting. I'm so poor right now, chat. I am so poor that I am reverting back to Amazon Flex. Oh, I'm so poor. But, I mean, if it stays interesting, maybe I won't go do Amazon Flex, and maybe I'll stick around for the Grand Theft Auto thing. I don't think I can, like, show the Grand Theft Auto thing on stream. I could, watch it and, like, talk about what I'm seeing, but I think if I showed it on stream, I think my channel would get clapped. How come? I just never bought a console, and like I said, they're not releasing it on PC, so there's no point for me to buy it, because I'm not gonna go buy a console just to play Grand Theft Auto. My cousin has an Xbox, so maybe like maybe at some point we'll end up buying it and playing it, but personally, I'm not buying it until online comes out. If online comes out relatively soon, I would consider buying it, but I'm not going to buy that game just to play this. I'm not going to buy a PlayStation or an Xbox just to play Grand Theft Auto. Like, I don't care that much. The game's not going to change. By the time I end up playing it, it's going to be the same exact game as when it comes out. At least as far as the story mode goes. Like, in the past, they don't change the story mode. The story mode stays the same. So I'm just not too worried about it. And also, like, I don't really play video games that much. Obviously, I'm playing RuneScape right now, but, like, I don't really play video games, so yeah. I'd probably buy it and get bored really fast. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe I'll end up playing it at some point. Oh, look, the homie 300 black on. Let's see. Quit at San Andreas, played like 10 minutes and never touched it again. Really, San Andreas is like the best one. I think San Andreas is even better than GTA 5. I mean, obviously you have online on GTA 5, so that's that's whatever, but if you're comparing story modes, I think San Andreas is like the best Grand Theft Auto you can buy or play. San Andreas is so good. So good. What's up, Zed? Been a while. Somebody might know something. It doesn't seem random. I mean, they're options, bro. Like, options can go up and down very quickly. You know, it is pretty weird because the stock really isn't up that much, so the options or the warrants shouldn't be up that much, but I don't know. I'm not putting any weight on this. I'm not going to get excited about something that probably doesn't matter. And also, I don't have that many warrants, so it doesn't really do anything for me. It just puts me back at closer to break even on my warrants. All my money's in the stock, so the warrants going up doesn't benefit me in any way. Yes, Kenny, I'll let you out. Oh my gosh. Holy guacamole. Tried to let the cat out earlier, but it's not I gotta let her out when she wants out. I can't. Crazy, man, crazy. What is Amazon Flex? It's like a DoorDash basically. Let me see. Let me see if there's anything. Make sure there's like nothing. I mean, I can't really show it too well on here, but it's just like essentially you download Amazon Flex on your phone, and it links with your Amazon account, so you don't have to make like a new account. But you get Amazon Flex on your phone, you sign in with your Amazon account, set it up, and it's sort of like DoorDash in a way. But instead of, picking up like food orders, you pick up what they call like delivery blocks. So at let me see. I forget exactly. And maybe I can show it depending what information is being showed. So at 1:30 to 5 today, I have a 3-hour and 30-minute block for $72. And essentially, if I end up doing that and I don't stay here on stream, I'll at about like 1, I'll start the delivery basically. And then I'll drive to the Amazon warehouse, which is like literally 5 minutes away from where I live. And then I go and pick up probably like 80 to 100 boxes and like envelopes and stuff. And then it doesn't tell you where you're going or anything like that, so I'll have to drive somewhere random and deliver all those packages to the houses or businesses or wherever those packages are going. And then once it's done, it's done. I don't, unless there's a package that couldn't be delivered or something. I could if there's a package that I couldn't deliver or something, I take it back to the warehouse. But if there's nothing, if I delivered all the packages or whatever, I just end it, and my $72 comes literally the next day into my bank account, or sometimes it takes 2 days. I guess it just depends. But yeah, it's just an easy way to make money if there's an Amazon warehouse near you and you have a car, or yeah. It's just some gig economy shit. It's the only thing I have to make money right now. I mean, I guess I could, theoretically sell my warrants that are up 50%, but I'm not going to do that. You guys know. I mean, anyone who's been here long enough knows that I'm not selling any shares and I'm not selling any warrants unless I'm going to be forced to. Let's see. It doesn't seem random. I mean, it is kind of random, realistically, but I don't know. I'm not going to get excited about it, personally. If you guys are excited about it, that's cool, but I'm not. I don't buy warrants, and I don't find it exciting. When the stock's up 50%, all right, I'll be excited. But the warrants being up 50%, who cares? Boring. Yawn. Boring. Let me know when the stock's up 50%, and then I'll care. Why are the warrants moving up? Just randomly. Nobody knows. Maybe, GameStop's earnings are within the next week or two, so the warrants could just be pricing in volatility or, options in general, because if the warrants are up that much, options are probably up a lot too. So they could just be pricing in volatility for the earnings report, but ultimately, who knows? Pretty tough to say. Pretty random. Pretty random. When has there ever been a 1.8 million on GME Plus? I don't know. I don't really pay attention to volume. We could look. They should have historical data here. No, they don't have it for some reason. Why don't they have historical data for this? That doesn't make any sense. What the heck? Oh, wait. What? How come it only has today? I don't know. That's weird. That's pretty weird. That's pretty weird. Did I get the job at GameStop? I don't think so. We'll see. I tried to call yesterday, but the lady who interviewed me wasn't there. But I don't know if I'm gonna get the job or not. Would I sell warrants? No. I didn't sell the warrants when they were at $4. I'm not gonna sell them now. Should you do what I'm doing? Probably not, but that, I don't know. This stream's not financial advice. I'm just documenting what I'm doing, Let's see. If you have GME stock and you need cash, can you not sell options? I mean, you can, but then you cap the gains of your investment. So why would I do that? If the obviously this probably won't happen, but if the stock can randomly go up 20-30% in a day, why would you cap your gains? Sure, you're getting income, and for the past 2 years, selling options has probably been really beneficial to you, but why would I cap my gain for something that I'm investing in for the next 5, 10, 20 years, and I think is going to be dramatically worth more than it is today? I don't know when that's going to happen, I don't know when the stock's going to be dramatically worth more than it is today, but selling options and trading options is you basically saying you're smarter than the market and you know what's going to happen, and nobody does. So I'm not doing that. And also, think about this. For the past 2 years that I've been in the investment, options, monthly options have been trading anywhere from, $80 to $120 until the past month or two. Now the monthly options are only $60. But so if you traded a monthly option every single month for the past 2 years, you made $2,000, maybe $2,400, maybe $2,500 on the high end per 100 options or 100 shares. Like, that's great, but you also have to pay taxes. So 2,500 times what, 15%, 20%. So there's 400 gone. So 2,100. You probably didn't win every single time you sold an option. So, you know, there's a loss there, or break even. So you probably didn't make as much as you think. And if the stock ever goes up, you had to sell your shares. And so, sure, you know, so if you sold options on your shares the past 2 years, you probably made, you know, $2 to $2,500 per 100 shares. But there's a lot of factors that are unknown, and you probably made a lot less than this. If the stock goes up $10, $20, you know, is that going to happen? I don't know. But if it does, I made more than you by not selling options, and I still get to keep my shares. And I don't have to pay taxes if I don't sell. So, you know, selling options and all that stuff, you can make money, but I don't want to see you complaining in like 5-10 years when you were selling options for the past 2-3 years, and then just one time the stock went up and you weren't able to get back in because it went up too high. Like, I'm just not interested in selling options. I think it's a waste of time. And you know, anyone who's been selling options on GameStop for the past 2 years, they're not going to agree with me, because they have confirmation bias and they just got extremely lucky and found a stock that has been really good to sell calls on. But if you go and look at most other stocks on the market, selling options is a complete waste of time, and you missed out on a lot of gains by doing it. So, you know, anomalies can't really you can't really factor in an anomaly to real life. Just because GameStop has been good for selling options for the past 2 years doesn't mean that works on every stock, and that doesn't mean it's going to continue to work either. I think anyone selling options on GameStop right now is a psycho. You're getting like $50-$60 a month. Like, that's okay. Okay. I mean, if $50-$60 per 100 shares is worth having to potentially sell your shares, I mean, that's fine, but not to me. Something's fishy. You got to be able to see volume somewhere. I mean, I'm sure you can, but it's probably not accurate. You know? Like, let's see. What is this? This says 1.89 million volume. What are we at on Yahoo? 2 million. So, I mean, it's close. It's close. So, I mean, the last time you had volume like this was literally July 10th, May 4th, March 26th. There's been a lot of times you've had volume like this, just not really any time recently. What's up? Who is that? I've seen that name in here before. Who is that? Hero of the Day. What's up, bro? I was gonna say, I've seen that dude in here before. Forgot who it was, though. Justin. What's up, Justin? Bought some cows? Nice. Moo. Like some real cows? That's awesome. Yo, 300 black, got 99 crafting. Let's go. Let's go, 300 black. Let's go. Don't you have two pools of GME stock? You have long terms and stock for short term. Paying taxes is sometimes fine. I have stock that I do not trade. Well, I don't trade. If I wanted to trade, I wouldn't be a GameStop investor. I don't need to gamble two things at once. My gamble is GameStop and owning GameStop. I'm not going to waste my time trading, even though I think I can make money and whatever. I know I can make money because I've been making money trading for the past 5-6 years before I became a GameStop investor, but that's not what I'm doing. I think I'm going to make way more being a GameStop investor than I ever would trading. Has that been accurate? No. But will it be? We'll see. We'll see. But no, I don't waste my time short-term trading. I've been doing that for a long time. Print? What's up, Print? So you have a choice to be broke? Yeah, essentially. If I really wanted to, I could make, 10, 20 grand right now, snap of a finger, but I don't want to. I'd rather be broke and hold my investment and see what happens. Remember when I told you GameStop could go back to around 1767? It's the bottom of the bullish pendant that's been forming since May 24th. You wouldn't listen at all. I was completely right. Maybe try listening to others next time. Well, did you short the stock? Or are you just talking? Because if you didn't short the stock and you didn't make money, your opinion's irrelevant. And also, the stock is down because they added more supply to the market. The stock isn't down because the stock is bad. $18 is $20 with the new supply on the market. So the stock didn't go down because of why you thought it was going to go down. It went down because they, brought more supply to the market. So, one, did you short? No, you didn't short, so you're just talking in my chat and acting like you're smarter than you actually are. And two, the stock's not down because the stock's bad. The stock's down because they added supply to the market. So the stock's not down for the reason you thought it went down anyway. So both of your opinions are irrelevant, and I also don't care. You think I give a fuck what you said about GameStop? My money's where my mouth is. You're just some fucking nerd who types in my chat and does nothing. So, if you shorted the stock, I mean, that's awesome. But losers like you who type in my chat, you don't put your money where your mouth is. You just like talking and like making yourself feel good, but you're too pussy to actually put a bet on the table. So, good for you. Made so much money on Intel, Micron, Western Digital, Corsair Red. What's up, Justin? Kev, what's up, Kev? I smell a ban. Oh, I'm gonna ban him here in a second, but I just wanna see if he actually shorted the stock, or is he just talking? If Muppet knew it would have gone to 17, why not short it? Another regard with hindsight, talk and talk, says nothing after the fact. Exactly. That's how most of these people are that come in my stream. Everyone's a genius. GameStop went down, I told ya. Well, I have my money on the table. You're just typing and talking and saying things. So, you don't believe in what you're saying. If you're talking about GameStop going down and you're not shorting it, you don't believe in what you're saying. You're just saying things. Everything goes up and down. Amen. Amen. In 5, 10, 20 years, do you think we're really going to give a fuck that the stock went down from $20 to $18? Like, let's be real. You think we're really going to care? I'm not. I don't even care now. I'm down like 50, 60 grand or more. I don't even know. I don't even look at my account anymore. But I don't I don't care because my investment is purely based on the next 5, 10, 20 plus years. Your guys is well, I can't speak for, I can't say everyone in here cuz some of you guys are aligned with me, but for the most part, a lot of you guys, you're focused on the next like 5, 10, 20 minutes. Maybe like the next 5, 10, 20 days if you're lucky. So we're just not on the same like level, honestly. You guys just aren't even on the same playing field as me. And that's not me, saying I'm fucking the best. That's me, making a point that if you think this drop is meaningful, your focus just isn't even on the same level. Like, I think this drop is awesome. I get to buy more at a cheaper price. That's sick. That's fucking awesome. All right. I guess he's not going to respond, so I guess we're just going to ban him. He comes in here and talks all that smack, but can't even short the stock. So that guy's getting banned for sure. That guy's getting banned for sure. If you actually shorted the stock and you actually made money from the stock dropping, I'd be like, all right, that's pretty awesome that you predicted that. But I'm sorry. That's just not reality. That's just not reality. People are too scared to put their money on the table. People are fucking scared. They're scared. They don't have what it takes to put their money on the table. They're too focused on fucking the daily price action. They can't even make an investment for the next 10, 20 years. It's not even possible for them. It's never a bad time to buy a good company. Amen, amen. There's a Warren Buffett thing on that. The greatest investor in history. Maybe I can find it. Excuse me. Let's see. I don't know what video it is. I can like picture it in my head, but I don't remember which one it is. That's not a video. I guess we'll go to YouTube. Time is it? 11:30. What do you guys think? Do you guys think I should go to Amazon Flex or stick around here? Warren Buffett investment goes down. I don't know. I don't know what the video would be. This Flex. A good idea. I think you're right, Justin. I think you're right. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Long term, I think we won't care that we're down right now. I'm down about 25K and I'm not bothered. Yeah, it's because we believe in our investment. Like that's the biggest difference between, a lot of the people who watch this stream and, a majority of people who invest and talk about stocks and all that stuff. Like, we're in this for the long term and we believe in the business, and being down on the stock sucks. Like, I don't think any of us are going to say that being down on the stock is awesome and cool, I think we can all agree that being down as much as we are on this investment is pretty shitty. But in reality, like, we're not, at least for me, I'm not investing in GameStop for the stock price. You know, I think the stock price is attractive at this moment, and it's why I buy so much when I compare it, you know, especially when I compare it to like other things. But, you know, we're all invested in GameStop's business for the future, and the stock price is kind of irrelevant. Like really think about it. If you really think about it, the stock went from $21 to 18 because they added 70 million shares to the market. What do you think would happen if they just bought back all those shares? What do you think would happen if they bought back 200 million shares? I mean, if them adding supply to the market makes the stock go down, what do you think reducing the shares in the market would do? Like, I don't know, man. People are just looking at this investment wrong. I also, you know, I think a lot of people aren't informed, you know? Unless you're watching my channel or channels similar to mine that actually like give you good updates and it's not just tinfoil nonsense. Most people aren't informed on this investment, and people probably look at the stock chart or the stock price and just see that the stock is down, and they just think that's really negative, and they don't even know why the stock is down. But the stock would still be trading at $21 if they didn't do that debt equity exchange, and that's just the reality of it, in my opinion. You know, if the stock goes down to 17, 16, all right, you know, maybe there's a case there that the stock was going to go down below 20, but with the debt equity exchange, you know, $18 is the new $20. The market cap's the same. You know, when they have 525 million shares on the market at $18, that's 9.5 billion market cap, and that's pretty much how much that's the fair value of GameStop shares. So if all you're looking at is the price, I could see why you have a negative view on it or whatever the case may be, but the market cap's still the same. So the stock in reality didn't lose any value. You'll tell your grandchildren about the 1 week GME dropped $2. I remember those times. All the brokies in my chat were telling me that I didn't know what I was talking about, and that the stock was gonna drop, and then the stock dropped, but they didn't buy the dip. For some reason, you know, Ryan Cohen gave them this tremendous opportunity to buy the stock at $18, but they didn't buy the dip because, you know, they were too busy trying to predict where the stock was going to go instead of just putting their money where their mouth is. I think that's going to be most people's fate. Everyone's so, like, focused on trying to predict what's going to happen instead of just investing in a good company that's going to be worth dramatically more in the future. People are focused on the wrong thing. Go make them GameStop shares. Hey, Johnny John. What's up, Johnny John? How you doing, Johnny John? Go make them GameStop shares. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I still have like another hour. But I'll probably end up going and doing that. Can always stream tomorrow if anything happens. If there's anything to talk about. Or later. Yeah, I'll probably go do Flex. Probably a good idea. Is there, well, is there any earnings today? Let me see. I don't think there's anything I want to stream earnings-wise. Doesn't look like it. No. Nothing to stream earnings-wise. Isn't there some stuff next week? Pan W, Dell. Okay. So there's some stuff to stream next week. Snowflake. Yeah, I think you're right. I think flex is the way to go. So that's probably what I'll end up doing. I would, stay on stream, but I'm only gonna make like $5 if I'm lucky. Whereas at least if I go do flex, I'll make like $70 minus like gas and stuff. Let's see. You guys are pretty active in the chat today. Appreciate everyone being here. Hope you're all doing good. If you short GME, Godspeed. It's like tightrope walking over the Grand Canyon while on drugs. Probably not a good idea. I mean, I agree with you, but shorting has been the best trade for, the past 2-3 years. So, like, I get what you mean, but I mean, I can't even say shorting has been the best trade because it really, like, just trading GameStop has been a good trade. Whether you're buying or holding, if you're buying and holding or selling and holding a position, GameStop's been tough. There's been a lot of opportunity to take profits on both sides, but that's for traders. If you're trying to bet on this on more of a long-term play, whether it be long or short, it's a tough bet. Because who knows what's going to happen, but I think the long-term favors people who are buying the stock, but ultimately shorts have been crushing. And that could be potentially why it's such a good investment, is because shorts have been winning for so long that they aren't even like paying attention to how much GameStop's business is changing. Whether that's true or not, who knows, but it's part of one of my theories. I think the shorts are going to make the stock more expensive in the future, and all the negative sentiment. Remember when I was down about 8K and I was upset about a year ago? Now 25K is not all that hard. I mean, higher is nicer to look at on the screen, but long term is what matters. Yeah, I agree. And, as long as you have that mentality and you're okay with either outcome, like it could go down more, honestly, like it could go down more, I don't want to say it can't, but in reality, like even if it does go down more, you just get a better opportunity to buy more shares for even cheaper if you actually believe in it. So it's not really a negative thing. Like, it sucks, but it might be positive, It could be positive. How, like, probably shooken out so many paper-handed traders, people who actually, are just in it for the squeeze. Like, I'm sure there's so many people that have sold out who were long-term believers, and it's a good thing those people are out of the stock, because if it ever does go up again, I think it'll just be better when you don't have as many traders in the investment. There's always going to be traders in the investment, but how many people are, still holding the stock now? Probably not very many. I mean, just judging by like stream numbers and video numbers, whenever I post videos or stream, it's dramatically less than it was, 6 months ago. And it's way dramatically less than it was a year ago. A lot of people have given up, which, in their eyes is probably a good idea when you're looking at the stock chart. They're probably happy that they gave up because, they're not down a bunch of money on the stock. But if the stock goes back up, they're not going to have that same tune. I got stock options, so price matters. Yeah, that's fair. Feel for you. Intel had me pissed for months. I definitely didn't short GameStop. I ain't going to bet against it. I mean, it's undervalued for its book value. There are a lot of companies not making money that have a stock value higher. I agree. But the stock market and the business aren't directly correlated in short-term price action. over a long enough time frame, the business and the stock should be more correlated, but in the short term, I don't really know how relevant that is. Sell GME at 60 and not wait till it goes back to 15 again. This could be the biggest GME in history, and you're bouncing. And I'm bouncing. Wait. I mean, it's just another day on the stock market, bro. It's just another day on the stock market. The warrants being up 50% doesn't do anything for me. Like, I don't care. like I said earlier, when the stock's up 50%, then I'll care. But the warrants being up 50% isn't really exciting. Do you have a theory on why the huge pop on the warrants? I would assume that the option market, because warrants are just options in reality. Like, I haven't looked at the option market, so I don't know if options are up as much as the warrants, but I just assume that the option market is pricing in volatility because earnings for GameStop is in a week or two. So it could just be the option market pricing in volatility. But other than that, I don't know. There's not really any other reason why the warrant should be up that much. If, the stock's not up that much, so the warrant shouldn't be up that much. So they just got to be pricing in volatility, I guess. Unless somebody was shorting the warrants and they closed. I don't know, man. That's a tough thing to say. Or tough thing to predict. I would lean more towards, the option market pricing in volatility, but who knows? Flex it. Nice chat today. Yeah, appreciate everyone being here. I just can't short in general. Seems like a negative bet. I prefer to gamble optimistically. Shorters are like haters to me. I mean, they kind of are. But in reality, a real stock trader, like someone who actually, does this for a living, buying and shorting is the same thing, essentially. So, I get your perspective, but from the perspective of someone who just trades and makes money on the market, there's no difference between buying and shorting. Especially if you're going to close your position out but at the end of the day. And it almost seems like an asymmetrical bet. Like, I can short from 18 to 1, but you could long from 18 to sky's the limit. I mean, theoretically, if GameStop if the business wasn't as good as it is, you would short 18 to $0 or whenever it goes bankrupt. But I just don't think that's very likely. I just don't see that happening. Who knows? Maybe they do another debt equity exchange and then the stock's trading at $15, $16. Who knows? All right, what does this say? Oh, yeah. Buffett.
Into them. I mean, the main thing to do, and you're not going to pick the bottom, and nobody else can pick it for you or anything of the sort. You've got to be prepared to, when you buy a stock, to have it go down 50% or more and be comfortable with it as long as you're comfortable with the holding. And I pointed out, I think a year, maybe 2 years ago in the annual report, just the one before this most recent one, I pointed out that there have been 3 times in Berkshire's history when the price of Berkshire stock went down 50%. 3 different times. Now, if you owed it on borrowed money, you could have been cleaned out. There wasn't anything wrong with Berkshire when those 3 times occurred. But if you're going to look at the price of the stock and think that you have to act because it's doing this or that, or somebody else tells you, well, how can you stay with that when something else is going up or anything? You've got to be in the right psychological position. And frankly, some people are not really careful. Some people are more subject to fear than others. It's like the virus. It strikes some people with much greater ferocity than others, and fear is something I really never felt financially, but I don't think Charlie's felt it either. But, some people can handle it psychologically. If you can't handle it psychologically, then you really shouldn't own stocks, because you're going to buy and sell them at the wrong time. And you should not count on somebody else telling you this. You should do something you understand yourself. If you don't understand it yourself, you're going to be affected by the next person you talk to. And so you should be in a position to hold. And I don't know whether today is a great day to buy stocks. I know it will work out over 20 or 30 years. I don't know whether it'll work out over 2 years at all. I have no idea whether you'll be ahead or behind on a stock you buy on Monday morning or the market.
Yep. I don't think you can say it much better. I don't think you can say it much better. Warren's the GOAT. Warren is the GOAT. Well, here's another one. Let's see what he says here. Oh yeah, TCG player, baby. TCG player.
Spark of Rebellion.
I never know what markets are going to do. There's never been a time in my life when I know what markets are going to do over a long period of time. They're going to go up. But in terms of what's going to happen in a day or a week or a month or a year even, I've never felt that I knew it, and I've never felt that it was important. I will say that in 10 or 20 or 30 years, I think stocks will be a lot higher than they are now.
You know, I know you look at things like that, but I also know that you look at stocks and try to decide if they're fairly valued, if they're overvalued, if they're looking cheap at this point. And we have been waiting for a correction for an awfully long time. That's finally come. Do stocks look cheaper to you, just based on where we've come?
Well, anytime stocks go down, as far as I'm concerned, I like it, because I'm a net buyer of stocks. I've been buying stocks ever since I was 11 years old. So when stocks go down, it's good news, just like when...
Wait, Warren, what did you just say? Hold up. Warren, can you drop some knowledge for the haters?
Valued if they're looking cheap at this point. And we have been waiting for a correction for an awfully long time. That's finally come. Do stocks look cheaper to you, just based on where we've come?
Well, anytime stocks go down, as far as I'm concerned, I like it, because I'm a net buyer of stocks. I've been buying stocks ever since I was 11 years old. So when stocks go down, it's good news, just like when hamburgers go down, it's good news, or Coca-Cola goes down, it's good news in terms of anything I buy. But you know, stocks are going to go down. You could probably look it up as to what percent of the days, since I was born, they've gone down, and maybe it'd be 30% or something like that. And you can't predict what stocks will do, but in the short run. But you can predict that American business will do well over time. And just take the 20th century. Stocks went from 66, the Dow average, 66 to 11,497, and you were getting 3 times as much in dividends as the whole average was selling for at the start. And you had 2 world wars, and you had a Great Depression, flu epidemics, all kinds of things. American business will do fine over time, and if you own a piece of it, and if you don't beat yourself, the only person that can cause you to get a bad result in stocks is yourself.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the biggest problem, is trying to fight yourself in some of these situations.
Yeah.
Have you been buying more stocks lately just because prices have come down? Have you upped your...
God, Warren is so young in this video, bro. This shit was 10 years ago. He looks so young.
...percentages and other things just
We're
because...
almost always a buyer of stocks. So we have bought more stocks since the end of the year. But we earned 17 and a fraction billion last year, and we had our float go up 4 billion, which is additional money available. And so we're almost always a buyer of stocks, and we're a more aggressive buyer when they're going down. I mean, I feel much better when they're going down, but it's hard to think of very many months when we haven't been a net buyer of stocks.
Yeah, I mean, you get the idea. You get the idea. If I get the job at GameStop, will I get stock options? No. I don't think so. I think they have like potentially a savings plan where you can invest in GameStop shares, but it just might be a normal 401k. Not too sure. I think you have to be like a corporate employee to get like stock options and stuff like that. I get it. I'll just never have that trader mentality. Yeah, I mean, it's not an easy thing to build. It's yeah. You know, I put in a lot of hours trading, so it's, for me it's kind of like second nature, but for most people I'd be surprised if most people have spent even like half the time I have, you know, trading and staring at stock charts and all that nonsense. So I wouldn't expect people, I just wouldn't expect someone to like view the market the same way I do. But I think generally the way I view the market is how it should be viewed. I think a lot of people get sold on the wrong way to view it. Doesn't mean I'm right, though. You know, this bet could be completely foolish, and I could be completely wrong. But, again, I have my money where my mouth is, so even if I am wrong, at least, you know, at least I took the bet. Unlike all these people who come in here and talk like they're geniuses because the stock's down, when in reality the only reason the stock's down is because they add more supply to the market. So it's just, I don't know. I have a feeling GME is going to release earnings early with breaking news. Maybe. 90 years of buying stock? That's going to be me, bro. That's going to be me. If I live to be that old, you guys are going to be seeing me. The multi-hundred billion dollar stock investor. You're going to be like, I remember that guy. We used to all think he was stupid because he YOLO'd all his money into GameStop. And now he's a multi-billionaire. That's going to be me. Just kidding. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Warrants now 281. I'm skipping work? Wait, why am I skipping work? What's happening? Did I miss something? Don't say that. Don't say that. I want to go work. I mean, I don't, but I do. I do, but I don't. I don't see anything on Reddit. Are the warrants, the warrants hit another high or something? Oh, 2 point. Oh yeah, they did hit another high. What the heck? Warrants are ripping, son. They're ripping. I mean, this is a pretty poppin' stream today. I don't know. Maybe I should ditch work. I don't know, chat. I don't know. The stream's getting poppin'. I don't know. I mean, I have some scheduled for tomorrow and the next day. So invest in American business and live till you're 90 and you'll be golden? No, I don't think that's really like the idea. I think the idea is that if you're someone who's going to be buying stocks for the rest of your life, a stock price going down doesn't matter. you know, you could have done bad analysis and you could have invested in something trash, and then, you know, a stock price going down probably matters. But if you're investing in something good and growing, and you're going to be buying stocks for the rest of your life, a stock price going down on a good growing business just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. I think that's more of the idea. It's like most people get into the stock market because they think they're going to get rich. You know, they think it's easy. So they're not a net buyer of stocks, you know? Someone like that is going to be a buyer of stocks until they get absolutely clapped. If you're someone who's a real net buyer of stock, you know, a stock price going down could be a good thing. I think that's kind of more the idea. And also, you know, I know you're joking, but you know, time is just relevant, you know? Like, over a 10, 20, 30-year period, if you're invested in the right thing, it should work out no matter what. But if you're, you know, investing in something really good and it goes down and within like a 5-year period, I mean, you're probably not going to win. I mean, if you sell, you're never going to win. Like, that's, you know, if you sell, you're never going to win. Does that mean selling's a bad idea? I mean, that's very debatable, but over a long enough time frame, a lot of the largest companies in the world have produced results that are unfathomable. So, you know, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, you know, whether this is reality or not, I'm looking for the next, like, Walmart, bro. I'm looking for the next Walmart, bro. I'm looking for this thing, you know, that IPO'd at like $2 or $3, and then over a 50-year time span went up 486,000%. Like, this is what I'm looking for. I'm not looking to make, you know, 7% on a trade or 100%. Like, I'm trying to make a 486,000%. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just thought you started at noon. Oh, nah. I started relatively early because I had that Amazon Flex delivery. I mean, the stream's kind of popping. Like, this is the most active the stream's been in a while, so it kind of makes me not want to go do it. Because, you know, I'll make a little bit of money from the stream, especially if there's like some news or something after hours, or something happens after hours. I can make some money from the stream. This is what happened last time. Straight up. The last time I was gonna go, like, this was like a few months ago, but I was gonna go do some Amazon Flex or something, and it was like earnings season. And I was like, damn, I guess I'm not gonna go do Amazon Flex. I'm gonna sit here on my stream and watch the earnings. This is what happens every time, bro. Because it's like, you know, sure, I can make money from the Amazon Flex and whatever, but I do enjoy coming on stream and talking to you guys, especially the people who have been around for a long time. I fucking love it, bro. You know, the past like month or two has sucked because there's been nothing to talk about, and the stream was really negative, but I banned a bunch of people, so that's nice. But yeah, it's literally what happened last time. I was gonna do Amazon Flex. I just ended up streaming instead. You could have sold all of your GME stock and bought warrants last week. Yeah, you could have, but you would have been trading a real investment for something that expires here in 3 months. Go make money, buy more GME. I joke, I understand what you mean. A lot of people overinvest thinking that they'll get rich quick. It's not how it works. It's long game, slow and steady. I mean, I'm overinvested in GameStop for sure, but I also have never thought that I was going to get rich quick. It's always been, based in reality. At least I feel like my investment has been pretty based in reality. And that's why, the stock being down doesn't affect me, because I'm not investing because of the stock price. I mean, maybe that's a small part of it, but it's not the full picture. So, a majority of people who are investing or trading, they're doing it because of the stock price. And I think that gets a lot of people, because if your whole focus is the stock price, good luck. Good luck being an investor. Rumors are swirling that Roaring Kitty's loading on warrants. Rumors. Ugh. I'm sure that's what people on Twitter are saying, because that's an easy thing to get likes and views and clicks on. So I'm sure that's what people are saying, but rumors, boring. Whenever there's like some facts or something, that'll be awesome. I don't like rumors. I don't like rumors. If I have enough conviction to buy, I'm ride or die. Time in the market beats timing the market. Amen, amen. I think so. But you could argue there is a case for timing the market. I've had a lot of success timing the market. So there is a case for it. Like, I think if your goal is like capital preservation, timing the market could be a good way to preserve your capital. But if your goal is growth, I mean, that's very debatable whether, timing the market is going to be a good approach. I think you can have success, but in my experience, all the time I've wasted trading and trying to time the market, I could have just YOLO'd all my money into the SPY and made way more. And that's like the most basic investment you can do. If you don't play, you can't win. Amen. Amen. Some people don't like to play, they just like typing in chat rooms and try to seem smarter than they actually are. That's most people, unfortunately. More people should put their money where their mouth is. $32 watching. Nice. Welcome, everyone. Hope you're all doing good. I mean, when the warrants are having this crazy of a day, people are looking for any info. That's true, but there's not much to talk about. It's just options volatility. Options are very volatile. Warren Buffett would flex. Flex. Kalaluka. What's up, Kalaluka? Yeah, no, there's no news or anything. I assume that the option market's just pricing in volatility. That's the only thing that makes sense to me, but who knows? Could be short closing, could be a massive buyer. Like I said, the only thing that makes sense to me is the market pricing in volatility, because that's what the option market does. And the warrants are options, basically. But ultimately, who knows? Yeah, hopefully we get some news or something. That'd be nice. That'd be nice. I won't be here, though. I think I'm going to go do Amazon Flex, even though I want to stick around and see what happens after hours. We can always talk about it later. I'm not too worried about it. Need to go do something with my life. I need to go do something with my life. I need to take these to the Grand Exchange. What, rumors? We're not going to the moon? Who knows? It's not what my investment's based off of. Who knows? When you were naming off all those dates earlier and said that we've seen this kind of volume in the past, how high was the most volume day? Seen this kind of volume in the past, how high was the volume most of those volume days? They were similar. There was a few that were higher. You just go on TradingView and you can see it. You know, whether TradingView's accurate or not, who knows? But like, oh, now you're at like 3 million. You're almost at 3 million volume today. So the last time you saw like this kind of volume was at the beginning of the year, January 26th, 27th, and February 2nd. You had 2.28 million volume on December 4th, and like almost 2 million volume on the days prior to that. So you haven't had this kind of volume like a ton, but you have seen this kind of volume. But I think this is the biggest candle you've seen on the warrants. Yeah, that's a massive candle. The last time, I mean, you haven't seen a candle this big on the warrants, actually. You've seen the volume. You know, you've seen this kind of volume. This actually is probably the highest volume day since the warrants came out, but overall, it's the biggest candle you've seen throughout the investment, besides, you know, like the first day it got released. So, kind of interesting, but, you know, I'm not going to get excited about it. I just can't. Nothing about this stock excites me these days. Like I said, when the stock's up, you know, 50%, all right, maybe I'll have some excitement, but I just can't get excited about some options going up. $7.90. Ooh, $8.14. Damn. All right. Let's do $8.10. It'll be fine. They should sell. They should sell. You sure do get out there, man. Any money's better than no money. It's true. It's very true. I haven't done Amazon flexing for a while. It'll be nice to get out, though. It'll be nice to get out. You know, I kind of want to stick around and see if there's any news or anything after hours, but I'm not too worried about it. I can just make a video or stream again later or something. Talk about it. We'll leave it for the fake GameStop investors to talk about. They can spread their little tinfoil and make you think the stock is going to go to the moon or whatever they do to try to get, you know, keep their viewership. Can we make a... Can I say something? Like, I've had a lot of experience in this GameStop community the past, you know, 2-3 years. Why do the people who like were talking positively about the stock back in 2024? Why do those people still have a following? All the fake traders and the people who made a bunch of people like FOMO into the stock. Like, why do those guys still have a following? That's crazy, man. That's crazy. I think I'm like the only like realistic person in the GameStop community. But that's, for some reason the tinfoilers get the views though. I don't know why. I don't get it. What is up with my hair, dude? What the fuck what is going on there? What was that? That was weird. I had like some like peacock hair going. What was up with that? That was odd. Let's see. What the fuck, this idiot ass looking game? It's RuneScape. It's the early 2000s, actually. This far passes that. I mean, yeah. It's still just volume, though. It's just price action. Like I said, you guys can be excited about it all you want. If this excites you, that's awesome. But I can't be excited about this stuff. I can't be excited about something like that. Reminds me of the first game I seen on a floppy disk. I think RuneScape was created in the early 2000s. I don't know when RuneScape Classic came out. That was the first like iteration of the game. RuneScape Classic release date. January 4th, 2001 was when this game, or when the first iteration of the game released. New investors clutch hard, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know either. Yeah. I couldn't follow. I couldn't follow those people, bro. I've watched some of the other like GameStop YouTubers, and I used to have Twitter and saw the things those people posted, and the things I see on Reddit are just terrible. I could not follow that stuff and be like satisfied. I like learning and like educating myself. And from my perspective, a lot of people in this GameStop community are not. They shouldn't be talking about stocks. They're probably educated in like some other topic that they should probably like actually talk about. But it's not stocks. It's not stocks. Any other meme stocks I'm watching for? Why would I watch for meme stocks? That doesn't make any sense. Why would I be watching meme stocks? You're not supposed to get excited. That's an emotion. You'll end up pressing buttons you shouldn't have pressed. I agree, actually. I agree. I don't know how to press buttons. The only button I know how to press is the buy button. So, like, there's that. Couldn't tell you the last time I pressed the other one. Actually, I think I sold my eBay shares to buy more GameStop shares at some point. Because I had like 1 or 2 eBay shares. But other than that, I haven't pressed a sell button in a long time. I don't even know what a sell button is. I only press that like little green button that says buy on it. That's the only good button. Cute as a button. Oh, chat. Chat, chat, chat. Chat, chat, chat. I'll be wealthy on paper for years. I'm not so sure I even want the money anymore. Well, see, then the stock price going down doesn't matter too much then. You don't want the money anyway. Or I guess the crypto price. Crypto's actually been doing pretty well lately, hasn't it? I haven't looked at like altcoins, but I saw Bitcoin was going up. Still in the shitter. Still in the shitter. It's Ethereum at. Yeah, they all look the same. They all look the same. I feel like you need some AI music to feed the good vibes playing in the background. Here, I got you. I got some music. Let's see. Well, the reason why I don't play music is because you'll get a copyright strike, but I might be able to play some RuneScape music. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Playing a straight slapper right now, chat. You hearing that? Yeah. Is this what you're looking for? Is this what you're looking for? Some great sound effects. Patrick! What's up, Patrick? How you doing, man? Hopefully I don't get copyrighted for this music. That'll be annoying. I've actually never tried to play RuneScape music on stream, so I guess we'll see. A bunch of people left when I started playing this, so they must not enjoy it. It must be too banger for them. It must be too much of a slapper. They can't handle it. They can't handle this slapping music right now. Alright, let's play the next song. Skip. I go to the bathroom, I'll be right back. Oh, shit. Oh, chat. My bad. My bad, chat. I didn't know, I thought Teabags was talking about the game. I'm like, I'm not muted on RuneScape. But I was muted on my microphone. So I was talking. God. I was talking for a while with the mic muted too. Whoops. Whoops. I don't even remember what I was talking about. What's up? Unites, Teabag, Titleist, Patrick. Hope you guys are all doing good. I think my mic was muted when I was saying all of your guys' names and responding to your messages. I don't remember what I was saying, but appreciate you guys being here. Damn. CrowdStrike's up 20% today. Crushing. Even Nvidia. Is that new all-time highs for Nvidia? Nivda? Oh, not quite. Close, though. eBay. What what do you mean by eBay post office simulator? What does that even mean? What does that even mean? What does it all mean? Got any theories about the warrants? I just assume the option market's pricing in volatility. It's the only thing I can assume. I mean, let's actually look at the option market. Like, is the option market up 50% too, or is it just the warrants? I actually haven't looked. But I would say the only good theory is that the option market is pricing in volatility. Any other theory seems irrelevant. Let's see. I got options, bitch. I'ma get puts and calls on all my stocks. I hedge my shit. Invested in. From everything to value tech and dividends. Living in. Houses in the hills. My life is different. Business is. I've been doing that since I was little, yeah, bigger now. I'm doing the same thing on a different scale. Listen here. I don't show my face because I am everywhere. How come this isn't working? Not linking. There we go. Let's see. I mean, yeah, see the normal options are only up 20%. So that's a little peculiar. Oh, wait, we also got to be going to the 32s. We can't be basing it off at the money options. We got to go to 32s. So yeah, the December 32s are up 32%. The October 32s are up 55%. Yeah, so yeah. To me, the option market just seems like it's pricing in volatility because GameStop's earnings are in like a week or two. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. So anyone posting roaring titties buying, okay, yeah, okay. You probably don't know how the stock market works. Because all the options are up 50%. Let's see. I just popped in before heading out to camp. Have an excellent weekend. I have to ship Left 4 Dead at the PO, so if you see me in your simulation, be kind. Hey, I appreciate you stopping in, you Knights. Enjoy your camp out, bro. Enjoy it. Have a good weekend. Hopefully some more like GameStop news and things to talk about comes out, and we can do more of these streams. But either way, I should see you next week. Napcam? What? Corey, would you accept some crypto? I don't have a crypto account, so I kind of can't accept crypto, even if I wanted it. I don't even have an account. I deleted my Coinbase. I deleted my, I think I had an Uphold account. I deleted that. I don't have a crypto wallet anymore. I think I might have a Coinbase One maybe, but I don't know. I think I deleted all my crypto wallets because I'm never buying crypto. Didn't know you were a Chad as well. I used to be a Chad. That's Josh was my first introduction to the stock market back before he ever blew up. When I first joined the Chad, there was like 50 people in there. And then he hit his TLT play and the market crashed, and now Josh is one of the most successful streamers out of any streamer, which is really impressive. Even like the top streamers in the world, Josh gets more watch hours than a lot of them just because of the following he's built and what he streams about and his education and stuff like that. I don't follow Josh anymore because I feel like I've kind of outgrew Josh, but I think he has a lot to teach newer investors or newer traders. Is there not a single stock you find more interesting than GameStop? I also think it could be interesting, but I mean, there are a lot of stocks out there. Sorry if you got this question probably often. No, there's not a single stock I find more interesting. There's definitely businesses I find more interesting. Like, obviously, you know, like Apple's business is way better than GameStop, but Apple's stock, when you compare Apple's stock to the business, Apple stock seems extremely overvalued. You know, it'll probably continue to grow forever, just like the like all the top names, you know, like Microsoft, McDonald's, Walmart, you know, things like that. Like those stocks will probably always go up, but I just don't find them interesting. And yeah, GameStop truly is the only stock I find to be interesting as far as like a value perspective and what the future looks like. But there's there's plenty of other stocks and businesses that are interesting. They just, to me, they seem overvalued. And also, when I look out 10, 20, 30 years, Apple's sitting at like a 3 trillion market cap or some shit like that. I can't remember. 4.5 trillion. Do you think in 10, 20 years Apple's going to be trading at like a 10, 20 trillion market cap? Like, it probably will be. But, you know, in 10, 20 years, I expect GameStop to be over 100 billion. So if you're basing, if you think Apple can be a 10, 20 trillion dollar company, that's only like a double or a 4x. Whereas, I think GameStop's going to be over 100 billion in the next 10, 20 years. So that's over a 10x. It's just, I think it's an easier bet. And it seems like the downside is potentially protected. Does it mean it is? I don't know. That's what I thought at $20, and then they did the debt equity exchange, and you saw what happened. So, but I do think the downside on GameStop is somewhat limited, and the upside is a lot more interesting than most other investments. Does it mean I'm right? I don't know. I have my money on the table. That's where my bet is. That's all I can say. Doesn't mean I'm right, doesn't mean I'm wrong, but in 10, 20 years, we'll find out. But I appreciate your question, Sentry. Get a MetaMask wallet? Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I don't want nothing to do with crypto. It's bad enough I hold GameStop and they have they have Bitcoin on their balance sheet. It's bad enough. Bad enough. We know Keith Gill is smart, and I know he understands market dynamics and in general strategian tools, and has obviously a deep understanding of options. But in your opinion, and let's be very honest, is he the luckiest trader ever? I say that because obviously he has not been able to duplicate what he did one time. I don't really agree with that, because if you go and look at the history of his GameStop trade, he only made, 50 million, or yeah, wasn't it like 50 million? He turned 50,000 into 50 million or something. But if you're looking at where he was at today, or 2 years ago, he had 400-500 million in cash, and also was up over $1 billion on his trade and didn't take profits. So I think, I think there's some luck to it, but I think he just understands business analysis, and the market is going to pay. If you can find an undervalued business before the market knows it's undervalued, you're going to win every time. And that's his strategy, But even before he got into GameStop, like if you go and look at the spreadsheet he has, and you see all the investments he had before GameStop, and you go and look at what those investments turned into, a lot of them were up 10, 20x. But at the same time, he invested in 2020, 2019, when it was the easiest time ever if you had money on the sidelines to put it to use. So there is, there's some luck to it, but you also had to be educated enough to take advantage of the opportunity, because all of, at least for me, I was in the stock market. I was into trading during COVID in 2020, but I wasn't educated enough to buy the dip. Also, I didn't have enough money. So there, there's, of course there's a luck aspect, but I don't think you can deny the fundamental analysis and the track record it holds. And I mean, I guess you could argue the same thing about like Warren Buffett or something. Like, is Warren Buffett the luckiest trader ever? I wouldn't say so. Like I said, there's a luck aspect, of course, but I think if you truly know what you're doing and you know how to analyze business and try to, make strategic entries into those businesses that you analyze, or maybe you don't even need a strategic entrance. Maybe you just need to be able to build a story for how the company can grow, and the story will play out no matter what price you get in. Like I just think I think value investing is underestimated. Value investing is extremely valuable and has a proven track record of working. It's just most people don't have the patience or the attention span to be successful in value investing. Because, for most people, the second they get into value investing, they're going to look up some business and make a valuation for it, and they're going to think they know what they're doing, and they're just going to buy it, and they're probably going to lose in the short term. In the long term, they might be right, but if they're not right in the short term, all that research and everything is just a waste of time. So I don't know. All I can say is there's definitely a luck aspect to it, but back when Keith made the GameStop investment in 2019 or 2020, GameStop's market cap was trading below its cash, just like it is today. It was, a lot more dramatic because you were in, hundreds of millions and not billions, but when a company is trading under its cash value, I think that's an easy investment. And at the time, it may not have been the easiest investment at the time because there was a lot of risk, but that's what made it so good. The negative sentiment and the risk and the way people perceived it, that's what made it even more valuable. Yesterday Gaming, what's up, Yesterday Gaming? Hope you're doing good. I guess my point is GameStop should have died, and Keith Gill had this odd phenomena of people piling on the trade with him during COVID when people had stimmy checks. He could have went bankrupt with GME. But that's not why he made money on it. He didn't make money on it because a bunch of people YOLO'd into the stock. And in my opinion, that's not why the stock went up. I think that's the story everyone got sold on. But in reality, billionaires were betting that the stock was going to go bankrupt. And it didn't go bankrupt because of the console release. It had nothing to do with people piling into the stock. The reason why GameStop didn't go bankrupt was because of the console release. And then, because the company wasn't going bankrupt, shorts were forced to close, and people were shorting that whole time. Like, you go and look at the chart back then. Let's go all the way back to 2020, before the squeeze. Boom. This, let's see. So you had basically from 2013 up until, 2020, prior to the squeeze, you had, what is that? 7-8 years? 7-8 years of people positioning short positions on this thing? 7 to 8 years of people positioning shorts? Like, and then even back here, back in 08, the stock was up a lot and got shorted down. Like, there's been almost 2 decades of shorts winning on this stock. I kind of forgot where I was going with this, but 2 decades of people shorting the stock and winning. I just, the reason why people short companies like this is because they think they're going to go bankrupt. And when the company goes bankrupt, you get all the profit, and I don't even think you pay taxes on it. Don't quote me on that part, but essentially when a company goes bankrupt, you get full profit. So when the 2 decades worth of shorts realized that this company wasn't going bankrupt, I mean, you can't do anything but close. Like, you can't sit and hold something that isn't going to keep going down or isn't going to go bankrupt. And yeah, just I don't think GameStop went up for the reasons everyone else thinks it went up. My view on the market is traders. Every single day there's people positioning, whether it be shorts, whether it be longs. Every single second of every single day, someone is positioning in the market. So I just can't I just can't get behind, a lot of the theories that people put out. Fair enough. Can't give this shit away. We'll agree to disagree on that. I'm a GME holder and love GME. That's why I'm here. I also think there are many stocks like Apple that are overvalued, but also many stocks that could be undervalued besides GME, like a lot of software, in my opinion, even when they are recovering right now. Well, what's your opinion on what is your opinion based off of when you think of something overvalued or undervalued? That's going to be, that's going to be where I can either agree with you or disagree with you, because if your opinion that something is overvalued or undervalued is just looking at a stock chart and not doing fundamental analysis and analyzing the business, I just can't, we can't have a conversation about this, because you might think something is undervalued, but I'm going to go research the business and I'm going to think it's overvalued. And in my opinion, there is not a singular software stock on the market that is undervalued. That is not even real right now. Every single AI tech stock is up dramatically right now. It was Ryan Cohen who saved it, who piggied off of the Keith Gill phenomenon. He raised a ton of money. GME was going to die. That's not how it played out, though. Ryan Cohen wasn't even the CEO when the 2021 squeeze happened. It was Sherman. Sherman? I think it was Sherman. And Sherman's the one who raised the money. And the stock, they didn't do the at the money until the stock hit, $400. So that opinion prior to the squeeze, I don't think is just, I don't think that's relevant. I don't think that's relevant. Maybe Ryan Cohen joining the board had some part of why the shorts closed and why the stock went up, but I don't think so. And GameStop wasn't going to die. You had a console release. And GameStop, historically, if you go and look at GameStop's business, anytime there was a console release, the business did well. So it's the console release that made the business survive. And then the squeeze happened, and they raised more money to help fund, the business growing again, or maybe surviving longer, because I don't know if growth was really in the picture at that point. But I just disagree. It was losing $500 million a year, but they had $1 billion in cash. Did they not? With a console cycle coming up. Grady, it's been a while, Grady. Hope you're doing good. I mean, we can go look at a balance sheet from back then. Look at a 2019 10K. God, so slow. Yeah, you were sitting on 1.1 billion of cash when the stock was trading at like hundreds of millions of market cap. Or wait. I think that's billions. Pretty sure that's billions. They lost 673 million in 2019, but they were profitable up until that point. So, like how can you say GameStop's business was dying when they were literally profitable up until 2019? Like that just doesn't really make any sense. How you can like have that perspective. The only reason they weren't profitable in 2019 was because of COVID and they had to close their stores. And then we can go to, 2020 10K if it loads. I don't know why it's not loading. Just think how much debt it would wound up in those tech stocks at the moment. Ugh, a lot, hundreds of billions on some of them. It's crazy. Are we expecting news after hours, or this just bullshit fluctuations? I have no clue. It's one of the largest volume days and one of the largest price action swings on the warrants you've ever seen, so it's pretty tough to say. But the whole option market is up like that, so, it's not just like warrants are randomly up and the rest of the option market is flat. Like every single option on the option market is up. Don't forget the debt service as well. I mean, either way, 2020, they lost 470 million. You still had 500 million in cash. But then 2021 was also, I think 2021 was after the, what the heck? 2021 was after they did the at the money, so there should be more cash here. I know, 500 million cash, so. I mean, I guess you could say that the at the money is potentially the only reason they got saved. But I think that's just I don't know. I think there's a lot of opinions about what happened, but in reality nobody knows what they're talking about. And from my perspective, when I look at the stock market, what makes a stock go up and down? Traders. It's as simple as that. Traders are what make the stock market go up and down. People buying makes the stock go up. People selling makes the stock go down. Like I think that's very simple, and we can all agree on that. So, like, the stock went up because traders changed their mind about the business. People who were shorting originally changed their mind. Lost 381 million. God, this shit is so slow, man. Why is the SEC website so booty? Well, let's see. They have a bunch more cash here. Probably from an at the money or something. They paid off all their debt at this point. But yeah, they were losing a lot. They got rid of a bunch of merchandise here. So that's, technically on this net loss, I don't think they lost money. They just got rid of merchandise. So 2022, I don't even think they lost money. And then 2023, they barely lost any money. And then 2024 was the first profitable year, I believe. I guess they lost here too. But they bought a bunch of marketable securities, so they actually potentially didn't lose as much as it looks like here. Like I get why you're saying that potential, I get why you're saying that that's the only reason they survived, but at the same time, if you really like spent time analyzing the business and the numbers, I just don't know if that's like the right perspective to have. But in reality, nobody knows. I think that's, a safe bet. Everyone has an opinion, but nobody actually knows, Some people watched Dumb Money, and that's where their opinion on the stock is from a stupid movie that isn't accurate at all. So, like, I don't know. When it comes to, like, the squeeze and stuff, I have my opinions. Because, a stock can't go up if people aren't buying it. And in the case of that, shorts are probably just buying back their short position. So that's buying. That's why the stock went up. Because a lot of software stocks did fall because of the AI narrative. For me, a stock is undervalued if I think the fundamentals are attractive to me at the current stock price. But what does that mean? What does the fundamentals being attractive to you mean? Are you basing it off of assets? Are you basing it off book value? Are you basing it off of future growth? Are you basing it like there's so many things you can base off fundamentals. So I don't know. How does this tech bubble all end? Crazy that 7 companies make up like 12% of the S&P 500. I don't think we're in a tech bubble. I think there's a lot of overvalued companies just because of the AI narrative, but a tech bubble, like 2020, 2021 was a tech bubble. Everyone and their mom was bullish. Man, I used to stream back then. I used to stream back in 2021. You would not believe how bullish people were. People are not bullish like that today. So I don't think there's a bubble, personally. I'm going to be getting out of here soon, though. Let's see. You mean every option for GME? Yeah. If you go look at the October 18th 32 calls, just like the warrants, they're up 50-60%. So it's the whole option market pricing in something. It's not just the warrants. Traders, you mean astrological signs? I do mean astrological signs. That's who I'm talking about. They changed their mind because Keith Gill and all of America had nothing to do but gamble on stocks at the time, and they had a stimmy check. I just don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. You think everyone YOLO'd all their money into GameStop? No. Most people put all their money in the S&P and Apple and those stocks. So you're kind of just like generalizing. And Keith Gill was in the trade like a year or two before the stock ever went up. So I disagree. I disagree. He saw something from his analysis and made the bet, and his analysis was correct. I think it's as simple as that. And, when the stock squoze and they did that at the money, that helped, but the stock would have never squoze if the shorts didn't change their mind. And why did the shorts change their mind? It's because the business got better, or they were wrong about their bet and they realized it a little too late. Like, I don't know. That's tough to say. But to just say that the only reason GameStop survived was because a bunch of people gambled on it, and I just don't know if that's accurate. I think I think that's like how you want to view it, but I just don't think that's accurate. It's the moon and the tides. Did you get the job at GameStop? Nah, I don't think so. I tried to call for a follow-up yesterday, but she wasn't there, so I'll probably call later today. Warrants were up first, those. Options went up after. Maybe. I'm sure if we actually looked at the charts, that's probably not accurate, because warrants are options. Literally. That's where the warrants get their pricing, because of the Black-Scholes model, which is how options get their pricing. So the warrants are up 50%, the options are going to be up 50%. Aren't retail and all their money a tiny fraction of the total money in the market? Yeah. Definitely. But if you have enough people that pile into one thing, you know, it can be quite a bit more money than what you would think. It's just most people don't pile into one thing. Most people are wishy-washy when it comes to investing and trading. They're trying to hit everything they can. They're trying to chase whatever the next best thing is. What's up, Power Ranger? Clint, hope you're doing good, man. News after hours, I'm not sure. Like many things, revenue, income, growth, debt, like all the important ratios and stuff. I'm not an expert, but I try my best. I still respect your opinion if you just favored GME. I mean, I guess all I'm trying to say is that what you think is undervalued, I might think is overvalued. Even if we, are analyzing essentially the same thing, just based off the way we view it, the emotions we feel when we're trying to make an investment. Like, there's a lot of factors. That's all I'm trying to say. Let's see. How come? All right. I'm going to be getting out of here in a sec, chat. Appreciate everyone stopping in. The stream is popping today. I probably should stick around, but it's all good. Maybe there was a little GME available to sell. That liquidity was thin as fuck. And then the buys just overly pumped the price, which in turn squeezed the shorts. The race to unwind shorts caused a mega pump. I don't know. I don't really follow GME. I mean, that's pretty accurate, I would say. I would say that's fairly accurate. But at the same time, maybe there were just that many people shorting the stock that also made the price pump. Like, there's so many ways you could like factor and say what happened. But I think if we just keep it simple and like, shorts closed because the stock wasn't going to go bankrupt. Like, I think that's very simple. I think that's super simple analysis, and I don't really want to make it more complicated than that. Go make that dough. And I still got like 5 minutes. These 16-hour shifts are killing. Dude, I can't believe you're grinding 16-hour shifts this week. It's crazy, bro. That's crazy. I'm about to go grind an Amazon Flex fucking shift because I'm a brokey and I need some dough. Do you work on Friday? Are you working a 16-hour shift on Friday too? $64 hours by the end of the day. Damn, it's gonna be a fat check. It's gonna be a fat check. That'll be nice. If Brandon LMFAO goes into your GameStop and you're working, will you call the police? Wait, what? I don't know who that is. I don't even know who that is. Hell overtime, but I'll hit you up tomorrow. Alright, for sure, bro. Good luck on the rest of your shift. I'm about to get out of here, chat. Appreciate everyone stopping in. Thank you all my OGs who've been supporting the stream forever. I appreciate you guys. And shout out to the new people. Thanks for stopping in. Hopefully we see you again. If there's something to talk about, I'll stream tomorrow, but I imagine tomorrow's just gonna be nothing, so I'll most likely see you guys next week. But yeah. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good rest of your day, and if I don't see you tomorrow, have a good weekend. And yeah. Hopefully we get some news or something after hours. We'll see. But either way, I appreciate you guys. Have a good rest of your day. God bless ya. Later, Gage. Titleist, have a good one. Moose, have a good one, Moose. Bass Mechanic. Kev, appreciate you guys. Thanks for always supporting the stream. And yeah. Alright. I'm out. God bless ya. Have a good one. Peace!